Welcome back to a new week at Life Launch University. I know we've just started, but I hope the concepts we've explored so far have helped open your mind to what's really possible and the greatness that's found within you. Speaking of what's found within you, this week we're going to explore the fascinating world of your brain. We're going to look at how the brain develops and what certain parts of the brain do, and how you can harness this knowledge to become an even more powerful person. I know some of these concepts are new, and some of the tools you're learning are unfamiliar and maybe even feel a little weird. But like we discussed before, the mindfulness practices and distress tolerance tools we're teaching have proven to be successful by some of the most powerful people on the planet. People like Andrew Chert, CEO of Panda Express, Jack Dorsey, CEO of Twitter and Square, as well as Angelina Jolie, Hugh Jackman, Katy Perry, and Oprah Winfrey, all set time aside every day to meditate and be mindful. They find it increases productivity, creativity, and helps them practice empathy and compassion. Talk about powerful people and practices. So let's jump right in and send it over to Olivia to get us started with today's mindfulness moment.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Today we are going to do an exercise called body scan. A body scan can help you relax and can also help you to pay attention to how your body feels. Sit with your back straight but not rigid. Put both feet on the floor and your hands in your lap. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Otherwise, rest your eyes on something in front of you. Listen to my instructions and pay attention to different parts of your body as I direct you to. Imagine that your attention is like a spotlight, and we are going to focus that spotlight on different areas of the body. When your mind wanders, that's okay. That's what minds do. Just gently bring it back and focus on your instructions and your body. Okay, let's get in our mindful body posture. Now we're ready to begin today's body scan. First, let yourself become aware of your breathing. Notice how your belly rises and falls with each breath. You don't need to change how you're breathing. Just let your breath find its own rhythm. Now, direct your attention like a spotlight onto your feet. Notice your toes. Notice the places that your feet touch the floor. Notice any feelings in your feet. Are they warm or cold? Is there any tightness anywhere? Now, move the spotlight of your attention away from your feet and focus on your legs. Notice any feelings in your legs. Are they warm or cool? Notice where your legs make contact with your chair. Remember, when your mind wanders, just notice it and come back to your body. Now move your full attention onto your lower back. Is any tightness or tingling there? Do you notice any feelings at all? Now allow your attention, like a spotlight, to move up your back slowly, all the way up. See if you can be aware of your spine and the muscles in your back. Notice where your back makes contact with the chair. As you breathe in, see if you can breathe into your whole back area and down into your legs and feet. Allow the muscles in your back to relax as you breathe out. Now move your attention to your belly. Notice the feelings of your stomach as it rises and falls with each breath. Take a deep breath and really allow your abdomen to expand and release the breath, and notice the feelings of the abdomen deflating. Move your attention up to the chest area. Bring your spotlight to your heart and your lungs. Notice how your chest moves with each breath. See if you can sense your heart beating. Now bring the spotlight of your awareness to both of your arms and hands. Let your attention travel all the way down to your fingertips. Are your hands moist or dry? Are they warm or cold? Move your attention back up your arms and allow the spotlight to settle on your shoulders. Notice any feelings there? Is there tightness, tension, heaviness, or lightness? Breathe deeply and release any tightness in your shoulders and allow them to relax. Next, move the spotlight up into your head area. Notice any feelings in the top of your head? Now notice your forehead, your eyes, your nose, your cheeks and your mouth, your jaw, your neck. Notice all the feelings in your face and head. Now see if you can feel your breath moving through your whole body. Notice the movement of the breath. As we conclude this practice, we will fully be aware of your body as a whole. Now take a deep breath and slowly open your eyes. Does your body feel different now than when you started? Did you notice anything you didn't notice before the exercise? Again, each time we practice this, we are strengthening our mind and learning to direct our attention to something specific. The more and more you do this, you'll be able to focus and minimize distractions. So nice work today. We'll send it back to you, Joe.
Thanks, Olivia. Now, take a look at the model of your brain on your SEL worksheet and fill in the appropriate labels as we talk about the different parts of the brain. As you understand the way your brain works, it's easier to have more control over what it does. There's a lot of complex information out there about the human brain, but for the scope of this course, let's keep it simple. The brain is broken up into three major parts: the hindbrain, the midbrain, and the forebrain. Let's start with the hindbrain. It's the very first part of our brain to develop. It happens during embryonic development, or while you're still forming in your mom's tummy. It's responsible for the automatic life support functions, like our heart beating or breathing. It's the stuff that you don't even have to think about doing. It just happens naturally. Its job basically is just to keep us alive. The next part of our brain to develop is the midbrain. It's responsible for our emotions. You see this development clearly in babies. Newborns mostly function out of a few basic needs: eat, sleep, and then a diaper change. Then, somewhere around 4 months old, they start to develop social smiles. And then before too long, they're a mess of extreme emotions, giggling with joy one moment and screaming with anger and sadness the next. We then spend the rest of our lives trying to make sense of all the emotions that come from the midbrain. The last part of our brain to develop is the forebrain. It usually starts around age 11 and doesn't even finish developing until around age 25. Just like you weren't born with all the muscles that you'll have as an adult, your brain needs time to develop, and with the right exercise routine, you can develop some amazing mental and emotional abilities. You see, the forebrain is responsible for putting logical thinking before emotional impulse. That's why you have some teenage guys just run and jump off of things without even looking first. It sounds crazy, but the thrill and emotional impulse, rush of adrenaline, not knowing what to expect, it can all be explained by an underdeveloped forebrain. As we age and through deliberate mental exercise, we learn to make choices to help us instead of letting uncomfortable emotions rule over us. This is the part of our brain where we want to spend most of our time in. Now, let's go back to the midbrain for a moment. Another important function of the midbrain, and for our purposes, perhaps one of the most important, is the fight, flight, and freeze response. This is where it originates. There's a little almond-shaped part of the midbrain called the amygdala. The amygdala is responsible for all of this, and it kind of acts like a sonar system and a smoke alarm. It's constantly scanning the world around us, looking for something that could threaten our life. To better illustrate, imagine you're on an African safari and you get out of the Land Rover to take a look around. After a minute, you hear everything go still and you notice some rustling in the tall grass directly in front of you. You hold still for a second, and then you see it. A large round head of a lion pushes its way out of the grass, crouched and staring right at you. What happens to you? Without even thinking, you're going to take the fastest route back to the Land Rover, back to safety. Well, maybe except for some of you tough guys out there thinking, heck no, I can take that lion. Yeah, right. That is the flight response. Your amygdala initiates all the processes necessary in your body to save your life. Now, what's really important to understand is that the amygdala doesn't know the difference between the threat of a lion or being asked to stand up and sing in front of a crowd, or the perceived threat of rejection for asking someone out on a date, or not getting any likes on a post on Instagram. The amygdala fires the same fight, flight, or freeze response and hijacks the brain until we perceive the threat is gone. It literally takes over and shuts off power to the forebrain. Then, without even thinking, the hindbrain goes into survival mode and we either fight, which looks like arguing or attacking, flight, which might be running away or perhaps retreating to our room, locking everyone out and isolating, or we freeze and literally can't move, speak, or decide what to do. Everyone experiences this. The only difference is some people have exercised their forebrain to take back control. It's something anyone can learn to do, and you're never too old to learn it. The good news is that this is the core of what we teach at Life Launch University. In fact, once you learn how to regulate your emotions and keep the forebrain online, you can eventually get good enough to stay present during just about any crisis you can imagine. We're going to take the next few weeks to learn about the 8 steps of the resilience model to take back control of your emotions and your brain. These are skills you will use the rest of your life and will help you exercise the mental and emotional strength to achieve any goal you want in life. So, nice work today. Don't forget to fill in the parts of the brain on your SEL worksheet of the day. Go home and teach what you've learned to your parents or a trusted adult. Next time, we'll dive a little deeper into each part of the brain and how you can harness the power of your brain. We'll see you next time.